Hello friends, welcome to this lecture of physics for class 12. We will study about chapter number 13 on nuclei. The descriptions given in this section are atomic mass and composition of nucleus, mass energy and nuclear binding energy, nuclear force, nuclear energy and some worked example. Please note that there is a revision for There is a revision in syllabus for the year 2020 to 21. Some of the chapters like radioactivity, alpha, beta, gamma, particles oblique rays, radioactive decay law, half-life and mean life, binding energy per nucleon and its variations with mass number have been deleted as per the KV and NCERT syllabus. So, when you are studying this chapter, please avoid studying about the deleted chapters. Let us start. First slide on this subject is introduction of nuclei. Nuclei is the plural of nucleus. The singular name is nucleus and the plural is nuclei. Nucleus is located at the center of an atom and contains entire positive and almost whole mass of an atom. Please see the figure on the right hand side. Is an electron orbit. Electrons are located and they are revolving around the nucleus in the dotted lines as shown in the diagram. The central part is the nucleus, and nucleus contains the entire positive and almost whole mass of an atom. Electrons revolve around the nucleus to form an atom. The nucleus consists of protons, that is positive charge, and the neutrons, that this blue colored mark is having protons and neutrons, and proton is positive and positively charged and neutron is neutral. A proton has a positive charge equal in magnitude to that of an electron, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb, and mass equal to 1840 times that of an electron. So, proton has got a mass equal to 1840 times that of an electron. A neutron has no charge and its mass is approximately equal to that of proton. So, both proton and neutron have mass, and proton is positively charged and neutron is electrically neutral. Properties of nuclei. Nuclear mass. Atomic mass is approximately equal to the nuclear mass, as the mass of electron is almost negligible. Atomic masses are measured in atomic mass unit, that is AMU, which is defined as 1 AMU is equal to 1.6604 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kg, that is equal to 1 unit, 1 U, that is equal to 931.478 mega electronic volt per coulomb square, and its energy is equivalent to 931.48 mega electronic volt. Please remember these numerical values. I will repeat for your sake. 1 atomic mass unit equals 1.6604 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kg. That is equal to 1 unit, that is equal to 931.478 mega electronic volt per coulomb square, and its energy equivalent is 931.48 mega electronic volt. These values are important not only from your examination point of view but also for solving the numerical problems. Next point. The number of protons in a nucleus of an atom is called atomic number Z or Z. So the number of protons, Z is the number of protons. The number of protons plus neutron in a nucleus of an atom is called the mass number, that is A of that atom. So protons plus neutron is the mass number and atomic number is the number of protons. This also you remember. A particular set of nucleons forming an atom is called nuclide. It is represented as XA superscript A and suffix Z as shown in the figure, that is XAZ. The nucleides having the same number of protons but different nucleons are called isotopes. Please remember this, that is if a nucleide having the same number, if Z is same for different nucleides but different A, if A differs from one element to another element but Z is same, these are called isotopes. The nucleide having same number of nucleons, that is if A is same but Z differs, then these are called isobars. So there is a difference between isotopes and isobars. Isobars are having same A but different Z. Isotopes are having same Z but different A. The nucleides having the same number of neutrons, that is if the difference between A and Z is same, then they are called isotones. Next slide. Properties of nuclei. Nuclear charge. Since nucleus contains positive charge protons, and that is the charge equal to plus 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb, and neutrons, that is neutral. So every nucleus has a net positive charge. So please remember, nucleus is positively charged. Nuclear radius. A rough estimate of nuclear size suggests that the radius of nucleus of an atom having a mass number A is given by R is equal to R naught into A to the power of 1 by 3, where A is the atomic, A is the mass number and R is the radius, and R naught is a constant represented as Fermi. Its R naught unit is Fermi and its value is 1.4 into 10 to the power of minus 15 meters. So the radius can be estimated as R is equal to R naught into A to the power of 1 by 3. Nuclear density. In spite of the fact that nuclear radius depends on mass number, nuclear density is independent of the mass number. Please note, nuclear density is independent of the mass number because neutrons are supposed to be almost same mass as that of protons. Then the total mass of nucleus is proportional to A. If each nucleon is supposed to have a mass m, then nuclear rho is equal to Ma divided by 4 by 3 pi R naught cube into A, that is equal to 3m by 4 pi R naught cube, which is independent of A. So nuclear density is mass over volume, and this is given by the relationship rho is equal to Ma divided by 4 by 3 pi into R naught cube A, that is equal to 3m divided by 4 pi R naught cube, which is independent of A. Nuclear spin and magnetic moment. Like orbital electrons in an atom, nucleons inside the nucleus have well-defined quantum states. Correspondingly, they have angular momentum and hence a magnetic moment. Like electrons, nucleons also have angular momentum and magnetic momentum corresponding to their spins. So, orbital electrons in an atom, nucleons inside the nucleus have very well defined quantum states. Correspondingly, they have angular momentum and hence the magnetic moment. Like electrons, nucleons also have angular momentum and magnetic moment corresponding to their spin. Nuclear force. If only the electrostatic and gravitational forces exist in the nucleus, then it would be impossible to have stable nucleus composed of protons and neutrons. The gravitational forces are too small to hold the nucleus together compared to electrostatic forces repelling the protons. Since stable atoms of neutrons and protons do exist, there must be another attractive force acting within the nucleus. This force is called nuclear force. So what does it mean? If there is only electrostatic and gravitational forces existed in the nucleus, then there won't be any stability of the nucleus because neutrons are neutral and protons are positively charged. So the gravitational forces are also much too small to hold the nucleus together. Hence, they will be there will not be any stability due to electrostatic forces are repelling and gravitational forces are also acting on that. Since atom is a stable and comprises of neutrons and protons, there must be another attractive force acting within the nucleus. This force, apart from gravitational force and electrostatic force, is called nuclear force. Properties of nuclear force. They are charge independent. The nuclear force between two protons is same as that of two neutrons or between protons and neutrons. So hence the magnitude of nuclear force is same whether it is between proton and one proton and another proton or one proton and one neutron or between two neutrons. The value is same. This is known as the charge independent character of the nuclear force. So nuclear force like electrostatic force or gravitational force is not depending on the charge of that particular particle. They may be repulsive or attractive. Repulsive at exceedingly small distance between nucleons, appreciably smaller than 10 to the power of minus 15 meters. It is a short range of force of radius smaller than 10 to the power of minus 13 centimeter. So the force is a short range of force less than 10 to the power of minus 13 centimeter. Nuclear force is of saturation character as each nucleon can interact with only limited number of nucleons. So nuclear is a saturation character, that is it will not exist continuously. As such, it can interact with only limited number of nucleons. One nucleons cannot be interacting with all the other nucleons, but it can interact with only a small number of nucleons surrounding it. Nuclear forces are the strongest of all the forces like electromagnetic and gravitational forces. That is why it has strong interaction. Nuclear force is spin dependent. If two interacting nucleons are having parallel spins, then nuclear force operating between them is comparatively stronger. That is, if the nuclear force of two nucleons is in parallel and in the same direction, they are comparatively stronger. Whereas if the forces are in opposite direction, then they are anti-parallel. The nuclear interaction is weak. Nuclear force is non-central force. That is, they cannot be represented as directed along a straight line connecting the centers of interacting nucleons. It is non-central nature. Its non-central nature is due to the fact that it depends also on the orientation of the nucleon spins. Mass defect and binding energy. It is observed that the mass of nucleus is slightly less than the sum of the masses of the constituent nucleons. Suppose a nucleus consists of Z protons and N neutrons. Mass of a proton and a neutron and the resulting nucleus are Mp and Mn and M represent respectively. Then mass defect of nucleus is given by delta M is equal to ZMP, that is number of Z is the number of protons and MP is the mass of proton plus A minus Z, that into Mn, where Mn minus M. M is the mass of the total mass of a proton minus M. Okay. Please note delta M is equal to Z. Z is the number of protons, Mp is the mass of proton plus A minus Z into Mn. Mn is the mass of the neutron minus M. In terms of atomic masses, we may also write mass defect as delta M is equal to Z into H11 plus N into Mn, that is mass of neutron, minus M of X into XAZ. This is the mass defect. Delta M is the mass defect, where MH11 is equal to mass of one hydrogen atom and M of XAZ is equal to mass of an atom having atomic number Z and atomic mass number A. Example. Let us explain this by an example. M of mass of one hydrogen atom H11 is equal to 1.00784 unit, that is atomic mass unit, and mass of neutron is equal to 1.00784 unit. Expected mass of deuterium is equals 2.01654 unit, but measured mass is 2.0141 units. That means there is a difference in mass of hydrogen atom measured and that of expected. That is, when we add mass of neutron and mass of proton, we should get the value as 2.01654 unit. But when we measure it, it is less, that is equal to 2.0141 unit. This is called, this difference in mass is called the mass defect. Binding energy. To break a nucleus into its constituent nucleus, some energy is required. That is, to break the nucleus, we need some energy. This energy is called binding energy of the given nucleus, or the energy equivalent of missing mass of a nucleus is called the binding energy of the nucleus. That is, in the previous example when we have taken the difference between expected mass and the measured mass is called the binding energy of the nucleus. Binding energy curve. In NCERT syllabus, it is mentioned that this binding energy curve, that is the relationship between mass number and average binding energy per nucleon, has been deleted. However, we will study it as this is required to know the difference between fission and fusion. Binding energy curve. Special features. Binding energy curve per nucleon of very light nuclides such as H21 is very small. See, binding energy curve is please see the figure on the right hand side. There is a graph. On the x-axis we have a mass number A, that is mass number A, and on the y-axis we have the average binding energy per nucleon in mega electronic volt. That is the value from 0 to 9 is shown in the figure. And similarly, the mass number for different elements, mass number is tabulated in the x-axis, that is 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120 and up to 240 on the x-axis. This is a curve. This is a binding energy curve. Binding energy per nucleon of very light nucleus such as 1H2 is very small. You see here 1H2 1s2 and all that, it is the binding energy is of the order of 1. It lies between 0 and 1. It is very small. Initially, there is a rapid rise in the value of the binding energy. So initially, you see, there is a, as between 0 and 20, it is increasing. This is increasing up to 7 in a very small gap per nucleon. Between mass numbers 4 and 20, this is the mass number. Between mass of 4 and the curve shows a cyclic recurrence of peak. See, this is the cyclic recurrence of peak between 4 and 20 peak corresponding to 2He4, 4Be8, 6C12, 8016, 8016, this is 8016. Okay, these are all the B9, B11, 8016 and 10Ne20, 10Ne20. See here, this is the 10Ne20. This shows that the binding energy per nucleon of these nucleides is greater than those of the immediate neighbors. So this shows that the binding energy is more than their immediate neighbors. After A is equal to 20, see, this is A is equal to 20, and after A is equal to 20, there is a gradual increase. This is a rapid increase and decrease, is a peak, and there is a gradual increase in binding energy per nucleon. The maximum value of 8.8, this is 8.8, this is the maximum value of 8.8 is reached at A is equal to 56. That is, at A is equal to 56, the binding energy is 8.8 and this is for the metal Fe, iron. This is for Fe56. You see the pointer here, Fe56. Therefore, is the most stable. Here it is the most stable. The nucleus is most stable here. Binding energy per nucleon of nucleides having mass numbers ranging from 40 to 120. 40 to 120. See, this is the 40. This is the number. Our mass number A is 40 to 120 are close to the maximum. This is the maximum, and 40 to 120 are, these ranges are close to the maximum value. So these elements are highly stable. So between 40 and 120, atomic mass number equal to 40 to 120, the metals are, the nucleus is very, these elements are highly stable. The elements are highly stable and non-radioactive. That is, these are non-radioactive elements. Beyond 120, see, this is 120. Beyond 120, the value decreases. After 120, the value, it decreases. You see the curve here, it decreases to 7.6 mega electronic volt. Here it becomes 7.6 mega electronic volt for uranium. This is uranium metal. For uranium, it is 7.6 mega electronic volt. Beyond 128, A is equal to 128, the value shows a rapid decrease. This is, say, 128 comes somewhere here, rapid decrease. This makes elements beyond uranium, trans-uranium elements, quite unstable and radioactive. After this 128, A is equal to 128, A is greater than 128, it is trans-uranium material and radioactive. The drooping of the curve at the high mass number indicates that nucleons are more tightly bound. Here the nucleons are very tightly bound and they can undergo fission. See here, beyond 20 and 28, these are higher value. Beyond this region of maximum stability, and then this is fission, region of fission. Here radioactivity is more. The drooping of the curve at the lower mass numbers, that is below 56, lower mass number, indicates that nucleons can undergo fusion to become stable. So the drooping curve at low mass number indicate that this is the region of fusion. See, this is the region of stability. Between 56 and 80 is the region of stability. That means the nucleus is highly stable here. Above this there is fission and below this there is fusion. Nuclear fission. The breaking of a heavy nucleus into two or more fragments of comparable mass with the release of tremendous energy is called nuclear fission. The most typical fission reaction occurs when the slow-moving neutrons strike U-23592. The following nuclear reaction takes place. So here please see the equation for the radioactivity. That means U-23592 plus a nucleon 01, when we add it, it reacts, when you add it, it becomes barium 141 to 56 plus Kr 9236 plus N 103 plus 200 mega electronic volts. When we break if more than one of the neutrons are capable of inducing a fission reaction, provided U-235 is available, then a number of fissions take place at successive stages, goes on increasing at very brisk rate, and this generates a series of fission. This is also known as a chain reaction. The chain reaction takes place only if the size of fissionable material U-235 is greater than a certain number called critical size. So here you see when this U-23192 interacts, then it breaks into barium and crystalline and releasing a large number of energy, 200 mega electronic volts. If the number of fissions in a given interval of time goes on increasing continuously, then the condition of explosion is created. In such cases, the chain reaction is called uncontrolled chain reaction. This forms the basis of an atomic bomb. See, this release of energy due to breaking of U-235 nuclei results in release of energy. And if this energy is not controlled, then it results in an atomic bomb. In a chain reaction, the fast-moving neutrons are absorbed by certain substances known as moderators, like heavy water. Then the number of fissions can be controlled, and the chain reaction is known as controlled chain reaction. This forms the basis of nuclear reactor. Thus, if the chain reaction is uncontrolled, it becomes a bond. If the chain reaction is controlled, it becomes a nuclear reactor. Nuclear fusion. The process in which two or more light nuclei are combined into a single nucleus with the release of tremendous amount of energy is called nuclear fusion. In the previous slide, we studied about the fission reaction. Like a fission reaction, the sum of masses before the fusion and the difference appears as fusion energy. Thus, the sum of masses before fusion, that is bigger of a bigger nucleus, and the difference appears as a fusion energy. The most typical fusion reaction is the fusion of two deuterium nuclei into helium. Please see the chain reaction. Here H21 plus H21, when it is combined, we get two hydrogen atoms H21 plus H21. When it is combined, we get helium 42 He42 plus 21.6 mega electronic volt. So by combination of nuclei, we get a release of a very large quantum of energy. For the fusion reaction to occur, the light nuclei are brought closer. Hydrogen nuclei is a light nuclei, and when two hydrogen atoms are brought together each other with a distance of 10 to the power of minus 14 meters, this is possible only at high temperature. So this combination, we have to heat it to a very high temperature to counter the repulsive force between the nuclei. That means when two nuclei are brought together, there is a repulsive force. But if we heat it, then we can overcome these repulsive forces and we can form a fusion reaction. The inner core of Sun, for example, the inner core of Sun is at a very high temperature and is suitable for fusion. In fact, the source of Sun and other stars is due to nuclear fusion reaction, because there is large quantum of heat generated at the Sun's inner core. Conservation laws in nuclear reaction. Nuclear reaction process has led to formulation of useful conservation principles. The four principles of most interest in this module are discussed below. Conservation of electric charge implies that charges are neither created nor destroyed. Single positive and negative charge may, however, neutralize each other. It is also possible for a neutral particle to produce one charge of each sign. So, according to the conservation of electric charge principles, charges can neither be created nor destroyed. Single positive and negative charges may, however, neutralize each other. It is also possible for a neutral particle to produce one charge of each sign. Conservation of mass number does not allow a net change in the number of nucleons. That is, total number of protons and neutrons should also remain same on both sides. So, just like conservation of charges, electric charges, there is conservation of mass number also. But it does not allow a net change in the number of nucleons. That is, the total number of protons and neutrons should also remain same on both sides of the nuclear reaction. However, the conversion of a proton into a neutron and vice versa is allowed. Conservation of mass and energy implies that the total kinetic energy and energy equivalent of mass in a system must be conserved in all decays and reactions. Mass can be converted into energy. Please note here, very important. Mass can be converted into energy and energy can be converted into mass. But the sum of the mass and energy must be constant. In nuclear reactions, sum of the masses before reaction is greater than the sum of masses after the reaction. The difference in masses appears in the form of energy following the law of interconversion and mass energy. That means in nuclear reactions, sum of the masses of the reaction is greater than the sum of the masses after. Before reaction it is great and after the reaction it may be less. The difference in mass appears in the form of energy following the law of interconversion of mass and energy. The energy released in this nuclear reaction is called the Q value of a reaction and is given as follows. If the difference in mass before and after reaction is delta M, atomic mass unit, that is delta M equals mass of the reactants minus mass of the products. Then the Q value is equal to delta M into 931 mega electronic volts. Conservation of momentum is responsible for distribution of available kinetic energy among product nuclei, particles and/or radiation. Conservation of momentum is responsible for the distribution of available kinetic energy among product nuclei, particles or radiation. The total amount is same before and after the reaction, even though it may be distributed differently among entirely different nucleides or particles. Please remember these are the basic laws of conservation in nuclear reaction. Having studied about the nuclei, mass defect, binding energy, and nuclear reaction and nuclear forces, let us revise the useful data applicable for solving the exercises. This is given here. E is equal to charge of electron is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. And N is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 per mole. K is, we know 1 over K is 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught. That is equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton meter square per coulomb. And K is also written by substituting the values of pi and epsilon. We get K is equal to 1.381 into 10 to the power of minus 23 joules per degree Kelvin. 1 mega electronic volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 13 joules. This is the relationship between mega electronic volt and joules. 1 atomic mass unit is equal to 931.5 mega electronic volt per coulomb square. And this is 1 year can be expressed as 3.154 into 10 to the power of 7 seconds. This S is for second. mass of an hydrogen atom is equal to 1.007825 units, and mass of helium atom He42 is equal to 4.002603 units. Mass of one neutron is equal to 1.008665 unit. Mass of an electron is, you see, it is very less, is equal to 0.00054 units. U is atomic mass unit. This, please remember, this data will be used in solving the numerical problems. Let us solve some exercises. First example, two stable isotopes of lithium Li63 and lithium 73 have respective abundances of 7.5% and 92.5%. These isotopes have masses 6.01512 units and 7.01600 units respectively. Find the atomic mass of lithium. You see here given abundances. So given Li63 is equal is 7.5%. Li6 7.5%. And Li73 is 92.5%. These are isotopes. You see, atomic number is same, but mass is different. Masses 6 given, it is also given Li63 6.01512 units, and it is also given Li73 is equal to 7.01600 units. These are given. All these four items given. One is 7.5, 92.5, and this. Atomic weight. Weight of average isotopes. Therefore, we can calculate the atomic weight. So, simply we have to multiply this 7.5 into 6.01 to find the mass. And similarly, this 92.5 into 7.0160, 7.01600 divided by the total mass, that is 7.5 plus 92.5, that is 100 divided by 100. Therefore, that will be 45.1134 plus 648.98 divided by 100. That is 6.941 atomic mass unit. So this is, he has asked what is the atomic mass unit of lithium. So we have to simply multiply abundances at the quantum, the ratios with the respective mass. Add it and divide by 100. Part B. Boron has two stable isotopes. B105 and B115. Their respective masses are also given here. Please read this example very carefully. Their masses are, that is B105 mass is 10.01294 and B115 is 11.00931 units, this respective. And the atomic mass of boron is 10.811. Find the abundances, and here In the previous example, abundances were given and respective masses were given, and we had to find the atomic mass of the total. Here, total atomic mass is given and respective masses are also given, and we have to find out the percentage. What is the percentage? So please note down, please copy this question and write down the given values. What is given? Okay, I have put it in a question mark. While noting down in the book, you please record it. Therefore, we will solve it. Let the relative abundance of B105 be X% and relative abundance of the balance of B115 will be 100 minus X. Therefore, 10.n given mass is here 10.811 is equal to X into the respective mass 10.129X plus 11.00931 into 100 minus X divided by 100. Therefore, X will be 9.9% and 100 minus X is equal to 80.1%. This is the answer. Next example. The three stable isotopes of neon Ne2010 and Ne2110 and Ne2210 have respective abundances 90.51%, 0.27% and 9.22%. The atomic mass of three isotopes are 19.99, 20.99 U units and 21.99 U units respectively. Obtain the average atomic mass of the neon. Given Ne2010 is equal to 90.5. Therefore, mass is given as 19.99. Ne2110 equals 0.27%. Mass is equal to 20.99. And Ne2210 is equal to 9.2 and 21.99. Therefore, average atomic mass of neon is M into Ne. Therefore, we have to add simply these values, that is 90.5 into 19.99 plus 0.27 into 20.99 and then 9.2 into 21.99 into 10 to the power of minus 2. That is equal to 20.18 atomic mass unit. This is the answer. Exercise number 3. Obtain the binding energy of a nitrogen nucleus N147 given a mass of N147 is equal to 14.00307. In the revised syllabus, binding energy numerical examples are perhaps deleted. However, I have added it. You please note down. Nitrogen nucleus is equal to N147. Therefore, mass of N147 is equal to 14.00307. It is also given. Therefore, N147 is made up of 7 protons and 7 neutrons. Therefore, A is equal to mass is equal to 7 mp into 7 mn. That is mass of proton plus 7 into mass of neutron. Therefore, mass of 7 protons plus mass of 7 neutrons. 7 into 1.00783 plus 7 into 1.00867 unit. That becomes 7.05431 plus 7.06069 atomic mass units. That is 14.11550 atomic mass units. Mass of nucleus is equal to m of n. This capital N represents the nucleus. There it is given as mass of nucleus is given as 14.00307. You please see the question. Here it is given mass of N14 there is nothing but mass of nucleus is equal to 14.00307. Therefore, mass defect is mass of the given material, that is nitrogen, minus mass of nucleus. Therefore, mass of nitrogen atom is, here we have calculated mass of 7 protons and 7 proton, theoretical value 14.1150 minus actual value. Actual value is 14.00307. So the difference gives the mass defect 0.11243 atomic mass unit. Therefore, energy equivalent of the mass defect is, we have to multiply this value by 931. 0.11243 into 931 mega electronic volt. Therefore, that is 1.104.67 mega electronic volt. Therefore, binding energy in terms of a mega electronic volt is 104.67. Example number 4. Obtain the binding energy of nuclei Fe5626 and bismuth 20983 in units of mega electronic volt from the following data. Therefore, mass of iron Fe5626 is 55.934939. This is given. Similarly, mass of bismuth is Bi 20983 is 208.980388 units. Solution. Given values you please note down as it is, and we are required to find the binding energy. Therefore, Fe56 contains 26 protons and 56 minus 26 30 neutrons. You see here, this sum is protons plus neutrons. This is only protons. So therefore, 56 minus 26 gives the number of neutrons, 30 neutrons. Mass of 26 protons is equal to 26 into 1.007825, that is equal to 26.20345 unit. Mass of 30 neutrons equals 30 into 1.008665 is equal to 30.25995 units. Total mass of 56 nucleons, that is nucleons means protons plus neutrons, that is equal to 56.46340 unit. Mass of 5626 Fe nucleus is equal to, but actually we have calculated it as 55.934939. This is given, this is given 55.934396, that is mass of nucleus is given. Therefore, mass defect delta M is equal to, we have to see what we have calculated theoretical 56.46340 minus given 55.936, that is equal to 0.528461. And therefore, total binding energy is equal to 0. That is mass defect into 931.5 mega electronic volt. That is equal to 492.26 mega electronic volt. Therefore, average binding energy will be equal to per nucleon if we calculate 492 divided by nucleons are 56. That is equal to 8.7790 mega electronic volt. This is for Fe. This you can even recall the graph atomic mass number versus the binding energy per nucleon curve. Now we have to do similar exercise for bismuth. Let us do it. So you only solve it. I will be displaying it line by line. Please copy and work out the example. So here we are going step by step. There are 83 protons, calculate the mass. 126 neutrons, calculate the mass. Add it, get the total mass. Then given mass of bismuth nucleus actually is given 208.980388. Then find the difference between the two and get the mass defect. Then for calculate the binding energy. And binding energy is nothing but mass defect into 931.5 mega electronic volt. That is equal to 1.1640.26 mega electronic. Then calculate the average. That is total binding energy divided by the number of nucleons. Hence, Fe5626 has greater binding energy per nucleon than bismuth. Bismuth has 7.848 mega electronic volt and this has got 8.7. So Fe has got more number of has greater binding energy. This is also revealed in the displayed in the curve, binding energy curve. A given coin has a mass of 30 grams. Calculate the nuclear energy that would be required to separate all the neutrons and protons from each other. For simplicity, assume that coin is made of copper. Please note the coin. This is a copper coin of copper, which has value. Assume he has given the assumption also Cu6329 atoms. Of mass also he has given 62.92960. Therefore, given mass is the weight mass of the coin is 3 grams. Therefore, coin is Cu6329 of mass given. Therefore, mass of an atom is 62.92960 atomic mass unit. Mass of 29 electrons. Therefore, this we have to copy from the data. This we should note that mass of electron. This is mass of electron is 0.000548. That is equal to 0.015892. Therefore, mass of nucleus is equal to 62.92960 minus 0.015892 unit. Therefore, mass of nucleus has been calculated. Mass of 29 protons. So there are 29 protons. This is protons and this is nucleons. Therefore, protons is equal to 29 into 1.007825. This is also we have to remember the value of the mass of proton. 29.226925. Then mass of neutrons 34. 63 minus 29. Neutrons is equal to 34. And its weight is, Newton's weight is 1.008665. This also we have to remember. 34.29461 units. Therefore, total mass of protons and neutrons is, adding the two, we get total mass, protons and neutrons. Binding energy is this minus the theoretical value, 62.913780. Therefore, into 931.5 mega electronic volt. Therefore, this value is 0.67827 into 931.5 mega electronic volt. Therefore, required energy is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 into divided by 63 into 3 into 0.607827 931.5 mega electronic volt. Hence, the answer is 1.6 into 10 to the power of 25 mega electronic volt, or if you convert it into joules, we get 2.6 into 10 to the power of 12. So, we have solved all the examples. Please note that some of the chapters, subsections have been deleted, and please consult your syllabus, respective board syllabus, and note down the exam, FERT exam.